It's Platt, and today I ask the question, orange juice, will it ferment? That's next. Alright, so today we are going to try to ferment orange juice. This is something I've been wanting to do for a while because I get a lot of questions about orange juice. As I referred to in other videos, my most popular video is simplest way to make booze at home. I just basically make wine from regular Welch's grape juice. One of the questions I get though at a time in that video in the comment section is, hey, I don't have grape juice for whatever reason, can I use orange juice? My answer has always been no, and here's the reason why. I read a while back a book called Yeast, all about yeast in the context of fermentation, brewing, making mead, wine, cider, what have you. One of the things they talk about in the book is the pH level of whatever you're fermenting, and that you don't want it too acidic. Well, citrus juices, your orange, grapefruit, lemon, whatever, they're naturally acidic or have a higher acidity level than, let's just say, regular water or like a grape juice or something like that. So my answer's always been no. But a while back I read another book, I think I might have talked about on the channel, Wild Wines. And it's about making all these different kind of wines, your dandelion wines, elderflower wines. There's even a recipe for carrot wine in there. But in the book, they use orange juice for their yeast starter. Every recipe is orange juice and yeast starter. Got me thinking a little bit. I've done a little more research, and I might have been wrong on the orange juice thing. The acidity in it, or the type of acid, specifically like ascorbic acid, which is vitamin C, it's not necessarily as rough on yeast as I thought. Also, too, orange juice is not as acidic as maybe some other citrus fruits. And I've just seen several videos and read some things where people are somewhat successful fermenting or creating orange wine. So with that being said, I thought, well, all right, this is a perfect reason to do an experiment. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to use orange juice. This is 100% juice. I'm not using a juice drink or anything like that. Real quick, let me read the recipe, or read the ingredients. First, we have just orange juice from concentrate, which is water and then orange juice. You're not going to find anything that's 100% juice at a reasonable price. It's not from concentrates. Don't let that bother you. If you have the money, then go to Whole Foods and buy your organic stuff, but this will do for us. Anyway, it's orange juice from concentrate and then ascorbic acid, which is vitamin C, and that's it. There's no preservatives or whatever. Again, that's what you want to avoid. So we have a half gallon here of 100% orange juice. So let's get to ferment some orange juice. And the first thing we're going to do is do a gravity reading to see if we need to add sugar to this. All right, time to do our hydrometer reading, see if we need to add sugar. Real quick, I want to point out something. This juice is pasteurized. You can use pasteurized or unpasteurized. It won't affect the fermentation process. Any that it won't affect the yeast. So don't let that throw you off. It's preservatives we're worried about, not pasteurization. The only thing about pasteurization is like if you bought apple cider and it was unpasteurized, you could literally just crack the seal and let the oxygen come in. And there's active, because it's unpasteurized, there's still active yeast in there, and so you could set that off and let it go. That's the only difference there. So with that being said, let's check our gravity on this orange juice. All right, we are looking at 1.050. That's actually not too bad. That should get us around 3%, maybe 4%. Probably a little low. We go ahead and add some sugar, but if you let this ferment out, you'd get if it works, if it ferments out, you would have enough still to get to probably, you know, again, high 3s, low 4s session type beer strength with that. So that's not bad. If it was a real clean fermentation, maybe into the 4s. We'd have to see. But we're going to go ahead, because we like to ramp things up, we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of sugar to this. So we're going to add 1 cup. So let me do that, and then we'll come back check the hydrometer reading again and see what we're working. All right, so I've added 1 cup of sugar to our orange juice. So let's see where that brings us on our gravity reading. Oh yeah, I bumped it up a little bit. We are looking at now around 1.080. Doing some quick mental math, that should almost get us close to 9%, or around that range, 9% alcohol by volume. Now we're kind of leaving the beer world, getting into the wine world. If we have a little cleaner fermentation, again, we'd probably easily hit 10% ABV. So that's probably what we're definitely looking for. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add in a teaspoon of yeast nutrients and throw in about 1 gram or 2 of yeast for a half-gallon brew. 1 to 2 grams is fine of our yeast. We're going to let this sit for about a week. I'll come back tomorrow though and see if we get any bubbling, and then like I said, we'll let this go for a week and see what we end up with. All right, so it's been about 24 hours, a little over 24 hours, and you really can't tell, but we do have plenty of bubbling. You might be able to see a little bit on the side of the container that we did have some more foaming. About 8 hours into it yesterday, we really got a nice foamy head on top, and that's since dissipated, but it looks like we have a full fermentation going. So we'll come back at the end of the week to do a hydrometer reading and see what we've got. All right, gang, so it's been 1 week, and we're going to do our hydrometer reading, see where we ended up. We had bubbling after the first day, so it seems like we got fermentation, but the only way we'll really know is if we do a hydrometer reading. Remember, our original gravity was, I believe, 1.080, so we're shooting around 9 to 10% range. Let's see what we got here. Oh, cow. That fermented out nicely. We're at somewhere around 1.00, 1.002, somewhere in that range. Doing some rough math in my head, we have hit 10%, which is pretty good considering this has only been fermenting for a week. When we ask ourselves, will it ferment orange juice? That is a definite yes. Now, the real question is, what does it taste like? So, let me set this off to the side. We'll pour a little sample out. Appears like it's lightened up a little bit, which would make sense because we're adding alcohol. It smells like you put a sock in orange juice. It's kind of what it smells like. Let's give her a taste. You know what? That's not bad. Not too far off a screwdriver. It really holds a lot of that orange flavor. You do notice there's alcohol at 10%. You know, if this is a beer, you get a little bit of warming. I notice it in the chest a little bit. The taste is a little off, but nothing too crazy. Actually interested to see how this mellows out. You know, if we were to age just like a wine, make an orange wine. But overall, this is very drinkable. Most of the time I advise 7 days, but we got to 10% alcohol. I advise normally 10 days plus on a lot of things if you're fermenting grape juice or whatever. But 7 days, we're at 10%. It tastes pretty reasonable. I think this is a success. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe down below. Also, please like the video because it lets YouTube know we're putting out good content. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them in the comment section. Or you can always contact me on the Twitter page. Till next time, bottoms up.